Mac Show. We're going to recap Bears, Niners, and Bucks, Bobcats. Plus new editions of the Thinking Chair, True or False, and Cage Talk. That's all right now on the Yoni and Mac Show.
Bigger than me, yeah, what could I do? I'm looking straight forward up to heaven, alright, I can't wait till the end.
From Studio One, welcome to this November the 20th edition of the Yoni and Mac Show. I am Ryan Yanishavis. Brandon McGrath will be joining me via satellite in just a couple of minutes. Let's get right into it. A lot of stuff to get to. Let's start with the Bears last night. If you want to call it a game, it was a shellacking last night. The San Francisco 49ers prevailed in a final of 32-7. Just a terrible game overall for the Bears. The offense never showed up, and they got beat down from the beginning of that game till the end of that game. And it was a game that proved that this team, without Jay Cutler, or even maybe with Jay Cutler, is not as good as they let on with the start of the 7-1 season. It was a struggling start for the Bears. But the last two games against two teams they really want to prove that, hey, they win these two games, they win one of these games, especially this one, you say, hey, this team looks like they have a chance to be a playoff contender. You lose both of them in bad ways, then I think they get taken out of the possible Super Bowl contender. So I think that's the one problem for this Bears team right now. They're not playing good at all, and I think that's going to be their struggle throughout. They need Jay Cutler back. It seems like every year between him and Matt Forte get hurt, and they just cannot do it. So another tough loss for the Bears, 32-7. Colin Kaepernick making his NFL debut, 16 for 23, 243 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jason Campbell went 14 for 22, 170 yards, a touchdown and 2 interceptions. Just a bad game for him in his first start as a Bear. We bring in Brandon for the first time. How much air is left in the balloon of the Bears for this season?
Yes, there is, just the offensive line is doing very horrible last night. The team didn't play good last night. I give props to the 49ers. They played good. Outstanding. Every quarterback played very good. Maybe a lot of air left. I think the Bears will come out in the next 3 games and win. So the next 3 games, the Bears will be 10-3. We'll see it from there. I think the Bears will. I think they'll boost it up and they'll be getting ready for the playoffs next couple of weeks.
I don't think there's much left. I think the air is going out. You're going to beat, if you say you beat the Vikings now, what does that really prove? You can beat teams that aren't in the playoffs. If you're in the playoffs, they're going to get embarrassed like they have the last 2 weeks. That's where they're going to have trouble. So I think it's easier on them if they don't make the playoffs than it is if they do make the playoffs, because this is a team that right now is not ready for postseason football. And I think they're just still missing a piece of the puzzle. Like Brandon said, the offensive line has not done its job either, but the Bears lose 32-7 of a final. To watch all Yoni and Mac Show, search for our official YouTube page. Just type in the search box, Yoni and Mac Show. That is the Yoni and Mac Show on our home of YouTube. We'll be previewing Sunday's game tomorrow. Again, tomorrow's the final day of this week, being a holiday. Now let's move over to basketball. Bucks were in Charlotte, and definitely I didn't get a chance to watch this game, but nonetheless, it was a game where the Bobcats prevailed. They won this one in a final of 102-98. Monte Ellis had 31 points. Ramon Sessions against his old Bucks team had 23, and Kemba Walker had 19. Brandon, is this loss for the Bucks a letdown?
No, it's big. It's a big loss for the Bucks. They had a lot of momentum coming into the game, but they can get back on track. I think they'll get going, and I think they'll get ruined.
I think it is. This has to be a letdown. You have to win games like this. This team is on such a roll right now, and they come out and play like this. This is not the way you wanted to see this team come out, especially tonight. They did not play well, or last night. They did not play well at all. It's just an ugly game but they only lost by 4, but still, it's a team that you're supposed to beat in the Charlotte Bobcats. They have Ben Goran, but they also have young guys like Kemba Walker, but at 4, bite the hand that fed you, what my dad always said. That's what you have to look at, is what Ramon Sessions did, so good job for him. He's able to prevail, and I think this is a letdown for the Bucks. We'll see if they can get back in it, but they got to play, I believe, they play the Miami Heat tomorrow night, so that ain't much of a leeway, and then they play 2 back-to-back games against the Bulls. So it'll be interesting to see after the letdown from the Bobcats to go face the Heat. Ooh, not a good one. But anyway, the Bucks lose 102-98 to the Bobcats, and again, we'll be previewing their weekend tomorrow. Want to be a guest analyst on the Yoni Mac Show? All you have to do is message Ryan or Brandon on Facebook. Tell us what you want to talk about, and if it's something we want to talk about, we'll give you a spot. That is being a guest analyst on the Yoni and Mac Show. Now it's time for the newest edition of True or False. 3 statements. I will tell you if they're true, or I'll tell you if they're going to be false. They're all concerning the NBA. The first one, LeBron James will be the 2012-13 MVP. I'm going to say true. I think he's going to be the MVP again. It just seems like he's hungry for another championship. He's playing well. They've had a couple of rough patches. But then again, if the only way he's going to be able to get that MVP is if he's able to stay strong and out. He's got 3 other guys on there that have been all-stars. When you look at Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and Ray Allen, you got a great team there. But he's going to have to overshadow them all, which, I mean, everyone can say that that's Dwayne Wade's team. It's not Dwayne Wade's team. I think once they brought LeBron in, he's going to be the guy that everyone's going to say it's his team. It is his team. And I think if he overshadows everyone, does what he needs to do, he's made a couple of great plays this year. But I think he's going to have a chance to be the MVP again this year, and I think he will do it again. And they're going to march their way because I really don't think there's any competition in the East this year. Second question, we talk about the Eastern Conference, the Knicks, who have been undefeated. I'm not sure if they've lost yet. But do they have a chance to break the Bulls' 72-10 record? I'm going to say false. Even though Amari Stoudemire's still out, they still won't have him back for a while. I still think this team is not good enough to win. They do have Jason Kidd. I mean, they have Melo. They have a bunch of guys that can do it, but I don't think anyone's ever going to touch that record. The Miami Heat may have a chance, but in a couple of years, I think next year would be a good chance for them because I think they need a year to groove. But I think I'm going to say false on that because I don't think anyone's going to really touch that record. It would be fun to see if someone was 72-9 and have that last game to try to break the record. I think that'd be awesome to see. It'd be a fun game to watch. I think the Heat will be the closest team to be able to do that. And I despise the Heat almost more than anyone, and you still got to give that team credit on what they've been able to do. Final one, Thunder are best in the West. I'm going to say true. The Spurs are just a regular season. It's a playoffs. If the NBA Finals was in the regular season, I think the Spurs would have about 7 titles. They've been 1. See, remember they got eliminated a couple of years ago by the Memphis Grizzlies. They're a team that get to the playoffs and then they don't play well. It seems like the regular season is their excitement. Like the other way around for the Yankees and for the Lakers in basketball, where you see they just get to the playoffs and then they struggle. That is something that you can't have in the NBA, and that hurts for the fan base because the regular season is just there, and then you have the playoffs, and then you struggle and get eliminated by an 8th seed. That's something you don't want to see. But the Thunder, nonetheless, is still, I think, the best. When you look at Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, I think even without James Harden, this team's still the best in the West, and they have a lot of talent. I think they'll win number 1 seed this year, and I think they're gonna once again be in the finals. Will we see another Heat? I want to see a Thunder Bulls finals. I don't think we're going to see it this year, possibly next year. But the Lakers as well. You got also the Lakers I didn't even bring up. When you got Dwight Howard and them, I just think they're going to need a year to gel. They're not going to be number 1. I think when you see the Thunder and the Lakers play each other, that'll be a fun game. But I'm still saying they may have all the guys, but right now there's injuries. They got Mike D'Antoni possibly coming back tonight to be their head coach. So, I mean, they got a lot of drama right now. I say the Thunder are the best in the West. That is the newest edition of True or False, which we always do here on Tuesdays. Every Friday on the Yoni Mac Show, we'll have a topic we do not agree on, and both of us will prove why we are right. That is Fridays only on the Yoni Mac Show. That gets pushed up to tomorrow. Brandon, questionable in the studio or not. We're expected to do a Yoni and Mac debate and the back and forth, but we'll see what happens with that. But we're trying to squeeze all our big promos in, our big segments in 3 days, and so far it's looking pretty good. But now let's keep that going with our newest. Of course, I like to vet, And it's time for me to vent again as I talk a little bit about the holiday of Thanksgiving being this Thursday. Here's my newest edition of The Thinking Chair. On this edition of The Thinking Chair, I'm going to be talking about the holiday that's coming up on Thursday, and that's Thanksgiving. Halloween I did, and I kind of ranted on about it and how people are immature with that holiday. But you know what, that ain't what I'm going to do here. I'm going to explain why Thanksgiving is the best holiday and why it's better than Christmas. Thanksgiving is a holiday where you get to really spend it with your family. There's no big theme. All you get to do is eat. And pretty much as you can see by the size of me, I like to eat, so therefore it's the perfect holiday for me. I mean, you got turkey, you got sweet potatoes, you got pumpkin pie, you got anything you want. You got ham as well. It's just an unbelievable holiday, and it's definitely the best one. But when you look at Christmas people should only be worrying about it when you're little, but Thanksgiving is more for the adults and because the kids don't like to eat really. So I mean, mainly you got this as an adult holiday. You got football on. You got the Macy's Day Parade. You got a lot of stuff going on Thanksgiving. That's why it's the best holiday compared to any of the other ones. For adults, this is probably the best one. Kids just want this one to get over with and get Christmas here and at. But then this newest edition of the Thinking Chair, that's me telling you why Thanksgiving is the best holiday. And since I forgot, there you go. If you want to know more about the crew, write a question on our Facebook page or email us at YoniandMacShow@yahoo.com, and we will have Ryan, Brandon, or Katie answer it on the air. That is the Yoni and Mac Show. Getting to know the crew, we want questions. I check the email daily, folks. Come on, we want some questions. Anything. You ask them, we will answer them. It could be dirty, it could be wrong, it could be dissing us. Anything you want to know, right here. Just let us know, and we'll do it. Now it's time for the newest edition of Cage Talk. Big one, UFC 154 was this past Saturday from Montreal, Quebec. Carmon defeated Tom Lawler in a split decision. I picked Lawler to win that fight. Therefore, I didn't get that one. I picked Johnny Hendricks to beat Martin Kampmann. He did. First round knockout with about 46 seconds off the clock. He was able to do that in the first round knockout. Then the big one, St. Pierre versus Carlos Condit. St. Pierre was able to get the win. I think the thing that really got him that win was the fact that he was able to get the blood going. I mean, he had one knee to the forehead of Carlos Condit, and you could instantly see the blood come down and pour. And then it seems like for the rest of the fight, they could not get that thing. Except for the fifth round, it seemed like that's when the thing closed up, and Condit had a chance to win. And I believe he caught St. Pierre with a knee to the head, or to a leg to the head. And St. Pierre even said he didn't even see it. So that was his chance to get it. He could not capitalize on that. Therefore, he lost. But if you look at I even said this to my dad, when you look at the fight, when you were watching it, it looks like Carlos Condit could have had the advantage definitely in height. He's a lot bigger than St. Pierre. But St. Pierre was able to prevail in that one. Definitely respect go out to Carlos Condit. But when you lose a title fight like that, where do you go from there? You get one chance in maybe every 2-3 years. So it's going to be troublesome to get him back in there. And, of course, now they're talking about George St. Pierre versus Anderson Silva in a possible matchup, in a catch or a flyweight match, which would be exciting as well. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. But George St. Pierre retains it. He has still not lost since 2007. But, again, that was a unanimous decision with all 5 rounds. The next card will be UFC on Fox, Saturday, December the 8th from the Key Arena in Seattle, Washington. Benson Henderson against Nate Diaz for the title. That one, again, will be on Fox. We'll be previewing that in the upcoming weeks. But once again, 154 in the books, but a good pay-per-view nonetheless. Also, like to remind you that tomorrow here on the Yoni and Mac Show, whether Brandon is here or not, we'll have an announcement about the future of this program. Is it positive? Is it negative? We want you to tune in to find out what's the big announcement. I will let you all know tomorrow what's happening with the Yoni and Mac Show. We'll let you know. That'll be tomorrow on the Yoni and Mac Show. Okay, now it is time for Brandon's favorite part of the show, predictions. Brandon last night went 0-2, picked Bears-Bucks. I went 1-1, picking Niners-Bucks. Bucks lost, Bears lost, Niners won. So there's no predictions today, though. We'll have all the weekend from Wednesday night all the way through Sunday night. Not as many games as you'd think, but there's still, we'll have predictions for the whole long, exaggerated weekend on tomorrow's program, the final one before the holiday. Speaking of tomorrow, let's preview what we have on tap. We're going to preview NBA and NFL extended weekend. Plus, we're going to have a new back and forth and Yoni and Mac debate. Yoni and Mac debate is going to be which holiday is better, Thanksgiving or Christmas? And of course, I described that in the thinking share about why I think Thanksgiving is. And also, we'll have a new, that'll be all on tomorrow's show. So don't forget to be a part of us for the final one of the week, including our big announcement of the future of this show. That's going to wrap things up here for this November the 20th edition. For Brandon McGrath, I'm Ryan Yanushana saying thank you for watching this presentation of the Yoni and Mac Show right here on YouTube.